Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Oh, wow, there's already a lot of you. Oh, there's a lot of happy birthday wishes. Thank you guys so much. That's really nice. Can't believe I'm already 38. Not far off. That's the worst part. Let's make sure everything is working before we get started. Here, I'll say hi on the big screen real quick. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for the well wishes. That is super kind to you. I had a nice fun day hanging out with my family, having a nice little birthday dinner. Ate some green tea ice cream, which is one of my favorites. Sorry, I'm fixing my cuffs here. And then we get started. What's the next series? Don't worry, Glue Stick. Wait 4 years and you'll find out. Here, sorry, let me fix my cuff. The button does not want to go in. There we go. All right, sick. Let's actually play video games. So yeah, Argentina turns out a really, really fun country to play. They even have mechanics for unifying La Plata and then even all of Spanish America. Not Brazil, though, unfortunately. So let's see if everything is working. Oh, the screen isn't showing. Now it is. There we go. Let's get started. Also, the game is way too loud for me. Let me know, by the way, if the game audio is louder than my microphone. I want to make sure I'm properly understood as I yap at you. So yeah, Argentina, nice chill country to play. You just get to industrialize, bring in immigration from Europe and the rest of the world, maybe conquer La Plata. Good times. So let's see what we actually have here. I don't think we need too much society tech early on. Yeah, I think we can go for... Okay, so this is going to take 4 years to get, so we should probably grab the lathe first. And then we can go for the engine. We have an event for the conquest of the desert. At least we should. Okay, we're going to have to wait for the event to trigger, but we get bonuses to colonizing the south. The famous Javier Milei technology tree. We're actually probably going to have to go interventionism as Argentina, just because if you're not a great power, laissez-faire is not nearly as useful. We're going to boast our liberal movement. And I think there might be one other movement we want to boost. We actually want to make sure the Argentine supremacists do not gain too much power, because otherwise they're going to make it hard for us to bring in immigration, which in this game is very overpowered and has no downsides whatsoever. We're also going to want to get onto wealth voting soon. We can get onto landed, which makes it easier to get wealth, but I don't know if that's a fight really worth having this early on. And as it regards our economy, I recall institutions were a bit of trouble for Argentina early on. Things like law enforcement, you want to get rid of if you can. They just chew up your paper. Regrettably, there's no there is no support for the Argentine abolish the police movement. Ocelot Guy, thank you so much for the happy birthday wishes. Really appreciate it. Top priority is going to be annexing Uruguay, annexing Paraguay. Chile is actually going to be a little harder to take, and there's some events early on that make you want to conquer Bolivia for the abolition of the Peru-Bolivia Confederation. So we got to watch that. As it regards building stuff, we're actually very well situated to mine iron. We also have some gold mines. So if I recall, this state has really big building penalties, so it's not quite worth it. Iron, there's a lot of, I think, up here that we're going to discover very shortly. So here's what I think I'm going to do. Let's play into our strengths. Let's start building up beef. Here we are, livestock ranches. And what's nice about them is they actually employ huge amounts of people, 5,000 people a unit. I found this out. Agriculture tends to employ way more people than industry. Actually, maybe that's not true. I don't know. I read somewhere that agriculture employs more, but it looks here like agriculture... Oh, no. Okay. Cotton plantations employ a lot more. The one agriculture I want to build, livestock ranches, it doesn't employ very many. Let's check our PMs. Maybe it's just that we have bad ones. Here we go, yes. Oh, no, that doesn't actually change anything. Yeah, there's actually a lot of PMs we can and should change. That's going to modify the state of our economy quite a bit. Cameron, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the well wishes. They are much appreciated. We can get rid of harvesting tools. That'll help us employ more people. All right, and now our market should be slightly low on iron, but that's not so much we can't import it, so we should be basically fine. All right, in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a single construction sector. And I'm going to build iron mines like you generally do in the early game. And here in Argentine, Jujuy. Juju? I don't know how to pronounce that. We can build without too many penalties. So let's start there. And we'll also take the rest of it from Bolivia. Do they have any mines here already? No, they don't. It's not developed. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. They are much appreciated. We seem to have bureaucracy penalty. Why? Our president is hurting our bureaucracy, I see. All right. And let's check out laws one more time. Can't get rid of slavery. Can't really change the censorship laws. The one law we can change is getting off autocracy. That's a real possibility for us. Landed voting might honestly be worth it. Yeah, let's go for it. All right, sick. And I think from here, we are good to go. Can we get a 72-hour stream? Not for a while, I don't think. AOC for 2028, when you show up to the streams, you're going to need to at least wait a little while before bringing up politics. We're having a chill time. French Empire Wine, welcome to the stream. I see you leave quite a few comments on the videos. Good to see you here live. Love the profile picture. Play the Fire Rises. I definitely want to do that one day. Oh, wait, I did not mess with diplomacy at all. And by diplomacy, I of course mean annexing our neighbors. Another little bit I want to do is I want to move into Southeast Asia as quickly as possible. Puppeting Siam, I think, will be worth a lot to us. And I think we even start with a ship already. Yeah, we have one single boat. So we can invade one of these countries that doesn't have an army, like Perak. Oh, that's an upside-down Russian flag. Very wholesome. Viva la Libertad Carajo. I think I know what country you live in. Mr. Smith, thank you so much for the well wishes. They are much appreciated. And now we have the age of Quaidioism. So for a country like Mexico, I find the Quaidios are a problem. But for Argentina, when I played, it didn't cause me very many issues. Ah, I see we don't have any trade capacity. All right. In that case, I'm going to build a trade center. Because I think it's going to solve all of our economic issues on the spot. I'm also going to go for iron frame buildings. And let's see what that does to our economy. It's not good for the economy. We do need taxes. Are there any other expenses we can cut? When you're like a really small, really early country like this, sometimes you got to make some uncomfortable decisions. I think when we demobilize the army, our economy will be a lot better off. And we're going to go against Peru, Bolivia. Wait, they did a... They're attacking us, the bastards. All right, let's see who wants to join us. We can get Chile, we can get Ecuador. I think Chile and Ecuador together are enough. And Brazil won't join because I guess they just don't like us. Well, we are less than a year into the game, and we already got ourselves into a two-front war. Luckily, these guys all want some land from Bolivia. How many maneuvers do I get? We have 120 maneuvers. That's actually really nice. So let's sway in the Chileans. Let's sway in the Ecuadorians. with liberate North Peru, which I want to do. Anyway. I'm going to force them to return our land. I am also going to force them to liberate everything else. Actually... No, in this case, we're actually liberating them. There's no, You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to go back to the beginning of the month because I realized there might be a better way to do this. Sorry, I don't want to see the individual states. I want to see the whole country's economy. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the month because I think there's something better we can do here. As a War Thunder addict, are we ever going to get a War Thunder stream? Yes, War Thunder is absolutely on the agenda. Coming soon, my friend. Coming very soon. Okay, so Chile wants to return to this teeny tiny plot of land. Ecuador. Actually, they'll take an obligation. Okay, sick. Yeah, Ecuador, I'll take an obligation. I'll give you an obligation, I mean. And now I'm just going to transfer all their subjects to me. Tasty, delicious subjects. Gonna return state. And I don't think I want to take any of their core states. Can I puppet them by any chance? Okay, liberating Amazonia is not worth it. So in that case, I am going to take all of their money, please. I want to make sure they don't back down, so I'm going to primary these. Man, they give you a lot of maneuvers. Okay, having AI Bolivia declare war on you might be the best thing that can happen as Argentina. We're getting an insane start. This is ruthless. Hey, Bolivia declared on us. Oh, wait, it wasn't even Bolivia we enforced the money transfer on. It was one of their puppets. Oh, no, we already did. Okay, no, we did do them. Cool. We're also going to get... Can I not get... Oh, there it is. I also want trade privileges. And investing rights. I have 43 more. I'm going to humiliate them. Oh, humiliate is already, yeah, that's already a war goal. Is there anything else we can do just to mess with them? Nothing else I really want. Okay, sick. Let the best part is we're not even going to have to fight this war. We'll just let Chile and Ecuador do it for us. And we're also at war with Uruguay at the same time. That war should settle itself pretty quick, though. There we go. Uruguay, welcome to the team. And we're going to go after Paraguay next. We're not even doing anything to fight the Bolivians. We're just doing our own local conflicts for the heck of it. Yeah, the Chileans are doing all the fighting for us. This is awesome. Oh, goddammit. Sorry, I gotta go back to the beginning of the month. There is a second state in Paraguay I forget to include, and I'm gonna be really mad if there's map gore. What have you done with my child? I don't know what you're talking about. Annex much as you can and make Simone Bolivar's dream as Argentina. That's pretty much what we're doing. This is ruthless. Yes, oh, carry on then. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Marisalis6275. You attacked the Paraguayan Empire? I'm sorry, Paraguay is going to become part of my empire, you see. Oh, sorry, we have to go back a few more months. You know, it said the British Empire formed in an absence of mind. Our empire is failing to form in an absence of mind because I'm forgetting to add the war goals. Here we go. You see this little sliver of land right here? That's, that's what this is over. And as you can see, the Chileans just doing all the fighting for us. And even the Ecuadorians. Man, Ecuador doesn't start with a bad army. I do see quite a bit of debt piling up, though. Although that debt will resolve itself very shortly. Oh, also, we're not building anything. Also, we seem to have annexed a construction center from Uruguay. That's probably not a good thing. So we built that trade center, right? So in that case, I think what we're going to need are some clippers. What builds clippers? Shipyards, right? Yes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to subsidize that trade center. That's probably going to help it out a ton. Yeah, if it's subsidized, it does a lot better. There it goes. Now it's hiring people. All right, we're all set. We appear to be losing the war in Paraguay. That's not good. I didn't really want to do it this early, but let's call up conscripts. Also, what I can do is improve their supplies. That should help them out. Let's tell our generals to chill out before they kill all our men. So yeah, you do not ever want to de-escalate with natives in this game. You actually want them to rebel, because if you defeat them, you get a very big bonus. Ooh, I do not want to boost the landowners. They are actually pushing us. All right, simple solution. Raise the military budget. That should help us recruit men. It's actually kind of wild that the Paraguayans are pushing us. Again, brief absence of mind, but now we have a huge army. Who's our best commander? Ambitious and wrathful. Oh, this guy. This guy is also good, I think. There we go. All right, the Paraguayans had their moment, but the war is back on. Never played Victi, but can you get Plan Plan in charge of France? Regrettably, Plan Plan is not in this game. It is very unfortunate. There we go. We got the Paraguayans down. All right, I'm going to chill out the expenses on this army a little bit because, man, our country is broke. Like, brutally so. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of that Uruguayan construction sector. That should help us out. Oh, they capitulated the Chileans. That's fine. The Ecuadorians are winning, and now our giant army is here, and this war is over. You know, this is actually a good thing. We get to keep all the spoils for ourselves. A resurgence of the Argentine Confederation's military power. Okay, I don't think this event was supposed to work this way, but all of the other countries in the area got so weak that I think we triggered something that checks our comparative strength, and our comparative strength got so high that it thinks we're like a regional power now. La Plata will be 1, plus 10 maneuvers, minus 25% infamy decay. Age of Quaidios advances, but that is fine. It's over for the Bolivians. Yeah, they're already ticking down. This war's over. We won. A terrible thing has been smothered in its crib, scattered to the winds. With the dissolution of the Peru-Bolivian Confederation, a nascent rival to Argentinian interests in the Andes has been defeated. The balance of power in South America has been set right once more. A terrible thing has been smothered in its crib. Okay, I got terrified. So there is a event that should unify Peru when it gets its independence. I was afraid it was going to leave it independent from me. No, they're still my puppet, which is awesome. Okay, good. This worked out about as well as it could. And now we are positive money-wise, mostly because we are stealing all of Bolivia's money. All right, cool. Who would get that popularity penalty? Yes, I want to hurt the landowners. Please become less popular. On this day, February 4th, Ezekiel was born. Happy birthday. Oh, that was a cute, that was a very cute way of putting it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Everyone giving me birthday wishes. That's very kind. I should do a stream at one point, but the chat makes the decisions for you by poll. God, I'd have to rig those polls so hard. Like, I'd probably have to do it like, should Ezekiel make good decisions or bad decisions? And then knowing you guys, you'll vote for me to make bad decisions and you'll just destroy the country. These are all sick. That's why. It's fine, though. I can lead even the most unruly mob. Spain recognized me? Huh. Oh, wow. And what's going up in Canada? What is that flag? Why does it just say Liberty? Oh my god. There's a revolt in Ontario and it's taking over all of Canada. How many soldiers does it have? 2 battalions are conquering all of Canada. What is this? The Upper Canada Radical Revolt? Look at this. All of this... Oh, wait, no, there's a second rebellion. There's also the Lower Canada. 4. 4 battalions are conquering all of Canada, and I guess the British can't stop them. All right, guys. It looks like we're in for one of those games of Victoria. You know the ones. Anyway, let's see if the British will let us expand in this region. I'm going to improve relations with both the British and the Hudson Bay Company because I don't want them messing with me. Also, can I go to war with Chile? I guess not. We should also start actually building stuff, especially if this... Yeah, we need a lot of iron. So yeah, this seems like the best place. Actually, Peru has some not bad places to build. But I imagine, yeah, there's big construction penalties there, while Jujuy is not considered mountainous. So that is where we shall build. It's low on infrastructure, though. We got to watch that. I imagine it has bad infrastructure just because of a lack of population. Enclave Truver says he loves the videos. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And now we have landed voting. So if you become a democracy in this game, it is very important you not rig your elections too much, because it will really, really mess up your government. So I think the next best option for us is going to be to try to either get rid of the police or make it not local, because that way the landowners get less powerful. Let's see what laws we can change that'll be useful. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for electoral confidence for now. We need that. And this country has no military, so we're gonna be able to land our giant army, even though our fleet contains one singular boat. So we're gonna plan the invasion, and then we're gonna have a cute little toehold here in Southeast Asia. Ooh, something we probably should have done before this war started. We need to get rid of some of our military officers because they are boosting the Quaidioism event, and that's not good. So this guy is loved, this guy is neutral, and this guy is neutral. Okay, so this guy, we have to fire him, which I can't do because he's taking part. Okay, so as soon as this naval invasion's over, we have to fire him, or we have a problem. A Napoleonic Argentina would be fun. It actually is possible to get Napoleon III to rule Argentina. I just don't think it's very easy. Yep, there we go. We now have a little bit of land here in South Asia. So what I would like to do ideally is puppet Siam, but we don't seem powerful enough to do that. So we're going to have to wait a little. We're also going to have the atmospheric engine very soon. So when that happens, we're going to need to import some coal, but that should be basically fine for us. Right, and is this a legitimate government? Yes, but we can make it more so. Now, are there any good laws we can pass? And getting to, well, the voting is going to take a little bit. Quaidios are good. I don't think the full-on Quaidioism event is good, though, no. Increases the armed forces. I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. I don't know, I just never done it before. I don't really know what happens. Oh, we also imported a, that's why our economy went to hell. So abolitionism is basically fine, and that is preferable to pissing everybody off. So, the Catholic Church wants charity hospitals. Sorry, we cannot afford the paper. We're already low on bureaucracy. So this guy's loved, so I'm actually going to give it to him, and then I'm going to fire him because the war is over. Bob Orr is a reformer. I actually don't hate having him in the country. What movement is he a part of? He's supporting the liberal movement? Good. So where is our army? First off, I want to base the army here in South Asia. Why am I missing South? There it is. Okay, so yes, it is based here. I also want to make sure the fleet is based in South Asia. And now in the army, we're going to fire that beloved commander. Bob War, CEO of War? Yeah, exactly. A pro-Denmark lobby? Yeah, sure, that's basically pure upside. We can just be nice to them. Also, we need to import paper as per that event. No, Peru, you cannot have autonomy. And I'm not sorry. Okay, so we want to let our infamy tick down a little bit before doing more conquering, because otherwise Brazil is very likely to mess with us. Also, we now have the atmospheric engine, so what we're going to do is we are going to begin using coal in our various industries. I also want to see if we can get our furniture plant onto the lathe. I don't know if that's a good idea, really. All right. So now we really need... Are we importing those tools? Actually, looks like we're not importing very much. Do we make tools in this country? We make some, and I think we can make more. So yeah, we import coal, so let's start mining it. Mendoza does have a construction penalty. I do not want to build there. Apparently Malaya has coal. You know what? It would not be terrible to build mines in our puppet, but... Where's Mendoza? God, these are all kind of bad options. Cajamarca apparently does not have a penalty, so I will go for that. And let's see what other industries are available to us. I honestly feel like it might be time to start going for some social stuff. I'd like to get into postal savings for our economy. I want to get pharmaceutical... actually, I don't know. It's probably a little early. No, let's keep going on production. We need the economy. Water tube boiler. That one will be very good, especially once we have some coal mines up. Also, we're building way too many iron mines. We do not need these extras. French Empire wine, welcome back. When does the truce with Bolivia end? All right, both East India and... Okay, the British are a little angry at us, so we gotta watch them. You know what we can do? We can put a liberal government in charge, begin passing a law, and then switch back to our conservative government. And the conservative government will very often continue trying to pass the law in question. A simple option might be dedicated police force, but that's not very likely. Honestly, these aren't bad for the stage of the game. I even like National Militia. It helps us get a big army up, since we have a lot of small states. Tenant farmers, I want to wait for commercialized agriculture. Intervention. It's mercantilism we should get off of. I want to get onto free trade or protectionism. And we can get onto free trade via the industrialists. The industrialists would also support something like open borders. But there's not... Whew, okay, if we could get this now, that would be insanely powerful. Free trade will be easier to pass. Let's try that and see what happens. So we're probably going to get an event that fails it, and then it should add a little bit of success chance. Oh, okay, I misunderstood how that worked. Never mind. Let me go back to the beginning of the month, because I want to try that again. Because there's still ways to do it. You can now rig the elections to empower liberals. Yes, but it pisses off your population so much to rig elections. They hate it. I have to go back one more month. It turns out people don't actually like it when you rig the elections, and then gaslight them and telling them the election actually was legitimate. I think it's the gaslighting they hate more. Here, so let's put that industrialist government back in charge. What I can even do is cut taxes a little bit, since our economy is looking a lot stronger. You know, I might even be able to add another construction sector. You know, our bureaucracy shortage is actually really hurting our tax revenue. If we just build one more government admin center, our economy will be a lot better. Here we go. And there's a good chance we get free trade now. So we need logistics for this. Where is logistics on research? Yeah, we can get logistics pretty fast, it looks like. Speaking about anarcho-capitalist Argentina, I love your libertarian series a few years ago. Oh, I'm super glad you liked that. I actually think we did a lot of really good work educating people on various, I guess we'll call them alternative ideologies. Different types of anarchism, that sort of thing. How many Quechua are there in this state? There's a good number of Quechua, but I think we can... Yeah, some token amends. That should make him happy. I dearly, desperately hope. I should do a video on anarcho-monarchism. I don't think that one is forthcoming. Ooh, we might end up getting free trade without too much fuss. That's very lucky. And that avoids the really annoying corn law event. Okay, so since we have a border, yes, we can make them a protectorate now. That's 13.5. I think the British won't interfere with us if we try. Now, I will call up conscripts. See, this is why we have national militia. Lets a small country like us actually build a pretty formidable army. I'm going to give them all... Okay, maybe not that much, because we are not a rich country. We can't really afford to give them all these luxuries. Oh, but the military budget has actually been too high this whole time. I'm also going to start them out defensive, because there is a good chance they try attacking us. And if they do, they'll waste all their manpower. Also, we can force our puppet to join the war, and they'll send us troops. Your favorite series is the Russian Civil War, not the Napoleon series. That actually is a surprise. You know, I have for a while wanted to redo our Russian Civil War series as a whole 5-part event. Just like we did for Napoleon. There's actually a lot of series I want to remake in 5 parts. Get more into depth. That sort of thing. Wait. Why is there a hostile arm? Why is Peru red? Oh, the Peruvians are fighting for independence from us. Okay. You know, I don't actually think that's a problem. They don't have a fleet. They can't reach us. All they can do is fight us here in the west. I want to see if they attack us. Raj Kumar, thank you so much for the well wishes. They are much appreciated. Oh yeah, we're going to push deep into Siam, nice and easy. One setback on free trade is unfortunate, but there's a very good chance we pass it. Especially with this glorious war we have in Southeast Asia. Yes, and we're going to go for logistics so we can colonize the south faster. Production methods, however, we are needing to upgrade those. Do we not have a coal mine? We do, but it's in our puppets territory. All right, that is fine. I think we might be able to add some of these PMs as well. Okay, we only need 2 units of glass. I think we just import those. Look, the East India Company is making border gore in Burma, as is tradition. And Peru will get handled very shortly. Yes, we're very close to finishing them off here. It looks like we're pissing everyone off with our conquests. Listen, success breeds jealousy. You guys know how it goes. It also looks like we have too many government admin centers. We gotta destroy a few of those. So in Argentina proper, how's our tax situation looking? Yeah, we can actually get rid of both of these. All right, Peru remains our puppet, and we are also about to take Siam. And from there, we can take Vietnam and even consider pushing into China if the British start another opium war. Also, we are not building anything, and our investment pool is building up. We're short a lot of iron, so I guess we're going to be building more of that. We can't build in Jujuy anymore because it's out of infrastructure. Paraguay looks like a good place to build, though. Also, it just occurred to me we should not have destroyed those government admin centers because a lot of our territory is unincorporated. Yeah, there we go. Now our bureaucracy is back to negative. Okay, so since the industrialists are still in the government, I want to see if we can pass no migration control. This one's going to be hard, but I will happily bribe other interest groups to get this passed. The armed forces are actually really bribable. What do they want? I can give them money. You know, political concessions would not be the worst thing to give to the armed forces. You know, I'm going to go with increasing the size of the army, because that's something we need to do anyway. And Napoleonic warfare is unlocked. Very cool. Wait, what do you mean it failed? Sorry, I'm going back to the beginning of the month, because it should have had 31% support. What happened? Paraguay does not approve this stream, so it's censored in Paraguay. Most unfortunate. Okay, so watch. It has 28% support. Yeah, what's going on? Why does it suddenly go to 0? Oh, I think it's because the industrialists are getting knocked out of the government. Let me try this again. It's because the parties are changing. That's why. There's an election coming up. The industrialists leave this governing bloc. Yeah, because they joined the National Civic Union. Here's what you do. You wait for the election to start. It's instant. That's the problem. Okay, let me try this then. What if I just put the National Civic Union in government now? Or if it's just the industrialists. Okay, the industrialists alone make a more legitimate government. I'm going to drop taxes to 0. You know, I'm going to put the... There we go. Okay, and now when the elections start... And now it only gains 1 setback. Okay. That is a bug. That is 100% a bug. There's not a single reason why it should be getting a setback. I'm confident 50% of history can be attributed to the fun-sized Frenchman. Napoleon is definitely one of those historic figures that just changes all of history around him. Ezekiel, what do you describe your political ideology as, or is that private or none at all? I don't like talking too much about my political beliefs just because I think it kind of shapes the channel. I want the videos to stand for themselves. I don't want me and my beliefs and my ideas to affect them any more than they inherently do. Because, like, you know, anyone who makes anything, their own view of the world is going to seep into it. Why, So what's the impact? Okay, this isn't too bad. We just shouldn't fight too many wars overseas if we're this short on convoys. I want to go to war for Vietnam very soon, though. It's only 17 infantry. We'll be able to afford that later. I see Persia's doing quite well. Ooh, yes, we're making progress. Based Ezekiel making content for the masses. The convoy thing is destroying Peru and Siam. Does it affect their market access? Ah, I see. Got it. So how can I fix the convoy situation? Do I just have to build a bunch more, What builds convoys? It's one of these. That builds clippers. Is it development? Oh, okay. Sorry, I see that I'm down 232. I think it's a lot. We can actually build ports really easily. Gonna build them in Uruguay. Yeah, in Victoria 3, you're kind of playing as a magical wizard who uses his boat mana, his bird mana, his stamp mana, and his book mana to magically control countries, you see. And I guess that once we build up all these convoys... Also, yeah, what do convoy ports use? They consume clippers, which I think we manufacture in this country. Don't we have a building that builds clippers? Could have sworn I built it. I guess I never actually built that shipyard. Well, I guess we're building the shipyard next. Lots of wizards in Uruguay. Exactly, you get it. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we have a truce with them, and the Argentine supremacists are very upset that we are letting foreigners in. Guys, don't you understand? I have to displace you for the sake of the economy. The funny line needs to go up. Which IG can I afford to have dislike me? Okay, the armed forces already really like me, so... I need the intelligentsia to chill out. What does the intelligentsia want? God, I don't want to pass census suffrage. Political concessions for them, though, would actually be really good. The intelligentsia support good policies. I'm actually totally fine if this revolution happens, because they have 4 whole divisions, so we'll be able to take them out pretty easily. Although it seems all of my generals will side with revolutionaries as well. Game Master 847, thank you so much for the well wishes. They're much appreciated. Yeah, I think building those ports is what's saving our economy now. Slightly unfortunate event, but I still think we're going to pass this. I do wish we could make a more legitimate government, though. So the devout leader, I think, is actually very unpopular. So we want him to stay where he is and be even more unpopular, so that way no one wants to join the devout. Because their leader is utterly despised. Look at the funny line go up. It's going to go up even faster when we have open borders. Ah, Zdank, thank you so much for saying so. Great Qing. I'm not sure Argentina has the power to take out the Qing. Right now, we're a really limited democracy. We're a presidential republic with landed voting. Paradox games in a nutshell. Number go up equal good. I'm pretty sure that's how real countries are governed as well. There we go. No migration control. Argentina, with free trade and interventionism, is ready to economically explode. Can we get onto wealth voting? We could, but it would also piss a lot of people off. So let's let the economy develop on its own, and then we'll go to wealth voting. Also, we need to actually collect taxes for once, because... oh boy, those interest payments are nasty. You know what we can actually do? Actually, we can. Okay, I want to like go to war with Brazil or something, or Bolivia, and steal all their money, but if we do that, Brazil will join. But Dai Nam should have a pretty good income, and if we puppet them, we'll steal it from them. So let's go for Make Protectorate. Where's our army? We actually don't have a commander. And the Intelligentsia gives a pretty good commander. But the Armed Forces one is way better. All right, I'm going to go with him. So we don't technically have a border with Vietnam, but we can force Siam to join the war. And if and when they do... sorry, if and when they do, we'll have a border with them. And also the Siamese army will be forced to fight. Also, it looks like the Dutch are trying to fight us. Sometimes the Dutch... oh, it's not even the Dutch themselves. The Dutch East Indies. That's perfectly fine. I actually don't care about them. They can do what they want. I also want to get rid of exploitative practices. I want population in my country, you see. Looks like we're short of coal, but doing good on iron. What are we importing for the most part? We're actually importing a lot of clippers, so when we finish this shipyard, we'll be in a good position. I think our country actually needs more trade. What am I going to do? I'm going to build a coal mine, just the one. And I'm going to build some more trade centers. I'm also going to add to the war goal for you to give me a ton of money. Because I am sorry, Vietnam, but I desperately need the income. hey, simply by raising the conscripts, we fulfilled our promise to the armed forces. All right, enforced military access. And now we have a border, and also the 20 divisions are joining the fight. Who are my nation's allies? Argentina does not have allies, you see, only interests. To actually answer your question, Peru is technically our ally, but it would be more accurate to describe them as our unwilling subject. Also, it seems like we're subsidizing a lot of buildings for no good reason. We're gonna have to watch that. What's wrong with the port? It is producing merchant marines. Ah, I see. Its merchant marines aren't useful, but the convoys are. Our iron mines are operating at capacity, though. This iron mine is not, because coal is too expensive in the country. So yeah, we're going to build a coal mine very shortly. As soon as the Vietnam War is ended, I think our economy will be in much better shape. Famous last words, I know. Ah, Alemannics are coming over. I believe those are the guys in Alsace, no? They're also the Swiss. Yeah, they know what's coming between France and Prussia. They're getting out of here while they can. It also looks like there's quite a bit of warring going on here. Argentines with M16s, exactly. But unlike the real-life Vietnam War, we're winning this one. So can I, like, land on Dutch territory, or... I know it's going to be a massively inefficient invasion, but they might not have soldiers in the way. Oh, damn, yeah, we just landed on them. Oh, no, never mind. All right, let's cancel that invasion before we lose a bunch of soldiers for no reason. All right, and the war is over. Sick. And now that we're stealing all of their money, our economy is kind of sort of balanced. Man, we have a lot of debt to dig ourselves out of. But they should be basically fine. Brazil thinks they're messing with us with an embargo, but it doesn't actually affect us too much. Okay, so we built a shipyard, and the shipyard is recruiting because there's genuine demand for clippers in our country. Also, there's a lot of migration. Man, you guys can actually see the exact moment we pass no migration controls. It's already shooting up. We have got a lot of debt we got to dig out of. More U.S. government lore. Well, the difference is the U.S. government can print the world's reserve currency, and Argentina can't print anything. We can just print the Argentine the Argentine peso. I really want to get postal savings. That'll let us do a lot. You know, banking? Actually, banking will reduce our interest payments, and then postal savings will help our economy, and then we'll also go for corporate charters. Yeah, it's time to go for society tax. Oh, we have logistics. I forgot to press the button. You got to press the button. As regards laws, can we get to wealth voting? We should be able to do that very soon, I think. Let's see here. Abolishing slavery wouldn't be too hard. Oh, I forgot. Legacy slavery actually boosts the landowners, so if we can ban it, that'll be very good. We actually want to get rid of that petty bourgeoisie leader. Lynx, Girl Paws, and their viewers just joined the stream. I think that's YouTube's version of a raid. Welcome, new viewers. That's some cheap queso, exactly. By the way, fun facts. Did you guys know that the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, a few months ago, did a, I think it's called a credit swap line or a currency swap line with real-life Argentina when the peso was dropping. But because the USA backed the peso, all the pesos we bought gained more value than the purchase time when we bought them. In other words, America's Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, made money. The United States profited by bailing out Argentina. That happened like 3 months ago. I thought that was so crazy. And if it wouldn't surprise you, Scott Bessent, before he was Secretary of the Treasury, was actually doing international currency trading. So the dude's literally making money trading with the United States budget. Also, it looks like Legitimists are taking over. Man, we have a really reactionary Europe. The Legitimists are in France. Legitimists in France. The Carlists in Spain. Guys, this is going to be a real new world game, let me tell you. The situation in Europe is not looking so hot. We are actually making some money. Let's see if we can build another construction sector. Based Europe, viva la Spain, viva la France. I'm sorry, but I think that the Europeans might just be living in intergenerational poverty because of this. Yes, and we want the Liberals to win the elections. We need to reform the government. If we do not reform the government, we will have problems. Now, luckily, the Conservative government does want to pass one good policy. If I can get a dedicated police force, we'll be in a much better position. It's not likely to pass, but we can try. Oh my god, we got so lucky. Minus 20% loan interest rate. That should help our budget so much. Oh, that saved our budget. Let's go. And now we're going to do what any responsible government does. We're going to spend more money. We just have to outgrow the debt, guys. If we outgrow the debt, we'll be in a great position. Man, we import lots of clippers and we import lots of paper. We do have a shipyard in this country. I think it makes good money, though. It does. Actually, no. The 9.2 a year is not especially profitable. So, you know, we're not going to build that. Tools. That's what this economy's running out of. Okay. We'll build some tool factories in Paraguay. Oh my god, guys, the funny number. The funny number is going up. Look at the funny number go. You know, actually, the main reason we have this tool shortage is because of the government spending. Yeah, the government needs to stop spending. The government needs to stop spending right now. We have to grow more than our debt. Ezekiel is learning modern monetary theory and paradox games from first principles. Oh, this one's way better. We need to build more. The Argentine economy will be built on the construction sector and nothing else. Can we take on more government expenses? I really don't think we can. We can take a setback, though. Ooh, there was a loved general or admiral in this country. Where is he and can I fire him? You, sir. I'm sorry that people like you too much. You're fired. You're not particularly liked. Okay, you're actively disliked and bigoted. You're hired. Welcome to the military. Ooh, we're not getting good luck on the police. Yeah, construction goods are what's really killing us here. America, why would I accept this deal? This deal is me giving you everything and you giving me nothing. Ooh, can you take on my debt? No, they don't want to do that. We're too broke. I honestly think this is a fair deal. Actually, I don't know. I don't want them taking my investment pool. Maybe? This would be a pretty favorable deal for us, honestly. Oh, hey! Okay, that just helped our economy so much. We just signed, guys, the greatest trade deal in the history of trade deals. The British are taking the east side of the peninsula. I'm actually totally fine with them taking that. I just don't want them messing with our part. Maybe we should take this opportunity to conquer Selangor real quick. You know, the infamy is not worth it. I have all the land I want here. What we really should start doing is pushing up. Are the people revolting? That's usually the revolt sound. Ezekiel, who do I think will dominate Europe? I mean, at this rate, it's almost certainly going to be Britain or Russia, because Austria is falling apart at the seams. France is ruled by reactionaries. Spain is ruled by reactionaries. How's Prussia doing? Ooh, spilled a bit of water on myself. Honestly, the Germans have a really good shot here. Germany, Britain, Russia. Siam wants to invest in my country? Not happening, bud. Sorry. I'm the head of this power block, you see. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to fight a war with Brazil soon, because I want to have a truce with them. And if I get a truce with them, we'll be free to expand in other directions unimpeded. Although it looks like our economy is getting messed with. Why is that happening? These iron mines are immensely profitable, but they're not hiring. We don't have enough population. Okay, we're actually in a pretty good position. There's not enough population in certain states to staff our buildings, and that's actually causing economic problems for us. Yeah, we almost have as many gainfully employed as peasants. Federation of the Andes, we're pushing that direction. Our main issue is going to be Brazil. Ooh, I don't have bad luck on dedicated police. What would the Catholic Church want? Yeah, I'm sorry, Catholic Church, none of these are. Not one of these is worth it. I don't care about dedicated police that much. Wow, we're getting really bad luck on this. Wow, Austria has an independent... Okay, it looks like Austria managed to pull it together, but they have a bunch of random independent crown lands. I'm not sure what to make of those. Oh, yep, it's Jover for dedicated police. Okay, that's fine. Can we maybe abolish slavery? Not with this government. You know, the liberals would not be that illegitimate. Maybe we could pass a good law with them. Wealth voting has some support. If we get wealth voting, I think that'll allow us to abolish slavery, and then the landowners will be a non-factor. Let's go for it. Maybe a well-placed concession. What do the armed forces want? You know, right of assembly is not a bad bill. Is that an upgrade or downgrade? Yeah, I think right of assembly is basically pure upside for us. Why do the armed forces want right of assembly, though? Do they have a liberal leader? They do! A liberal runs the armed forces. Okay, cool. I'll give them right of assembly. You hit harder to get rid of the tax exemptions? Well, in this game, they're not a tax exemption. The real issue with them is that they make the landowners more powerful. Those purple windmills. No, Peru, I'm not giving you autonomy. Stop asking. How could the Serbs, Hungarians, Slovaks, Czechs, Romanians, and Italians possibly revolt against Austria? Don't forget the Germans. Or the Croats. Or the Italians who don't identify as Italian, but as very specific types of Italian, like Venetian or Milanese. Ooh, unfortunate roll on wealth voting. I think very soon it will be time to start conquering South America. Milanese sounds like a type of red sauce. There is something called chicken Milanese that I really like. It's basically a German schnitzel with a delicious salad atop. Very nice. I like it. We can bring a bourbon into this country? Wasn't it the King of France just now? Henri de Bourbon. This is Henri de Bourbon. Why does he want to come to the country? Okay, so this is Henri de Bourbon, who's an agitator in our country, while also... This guy's the King of France. There is a bug. The King of France is an agitator in Argentina. I mean, I'm kicking you out of here. Like, man, what was that about? Also, it looks like our economy is doing beautifully here. Peru is demanding independence? No, Peru, you are not getting independence. Okay, with any luck, someone is going to join the Peruvian side. Yeah, like Brazil. Okay, I am so happy Brazil joined their side. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to stand at the Brazilian border, let them waste away on us. They're going to lose all their troops. Then we're going to go to Peru and liberate it, quote unquote. And then we're going to have a truce with Brazil, which will enable us to basically conquer all of South America while they can't do anything to stop us. So we're going to build almost all infantry. This is also why you want national militia as a country like Argentina. You know, a little part of me wants to take, like, the Brazilian border provinces. Rio Grande do Sul, Santa Catarina, Paranha. How much, what would it cost? Looking for Rio Grande do Sul. That's Rio de Janeiro. Do Sul. That would be 10. 11. Where's the Brazilian capital? Okay, so to advance to the Brazilian capital will take a while. If advancing to the Brazilian capital was easy, I might go for, like, enforced money transfer. Oh, God, that's a lot of money. You know, it might be worth it. I'm adding it. And we need a good, experienced offensive planner that is beautiful, and there's also a defensive strategist here. I'm actually going to go for both of them. And they're just going to stand here looking menacing. I was going to swap out governments for stability. The new government will not pass wealth voting, unfortunately. So I'm just going to cancel this because we have a way bigger fish to fry. We're going to finish this tooling workshop, and then I'm going to stop all construction because I think that'll be enough to balance our budget. If we could get trade privileges from the British Empire, that would be insane. I love that lobby so much. I'm just going to focus on the... We can't give them a higher loan interest rate. All right, Britain, please, please, please give me those trade advantages. Yes, they'll just straight up give... Okay, they won't quite straight up give them to me, but there's a really good chance they will. Please say yes, please say yes. Yes! That should help our economy so much. Alright, they're very likely to attack us super hard. And we should win all the battles with the defensive advantage. Yeah, we have so much defense on them. This is actually the best thing that could have happened to us. The Brazilians declaring war on us very stupidly. The only thing that could go wrong is our economy getting messed up. And there is a real chance of our economy getting super messed up. Oh, that's not good. This is not good at all. And they also stopped attacking us, which is very unfortunate. The problem is the ticking war score. What happens if I try attacking? We do push them. We actually push them pretty hard. I just don't know how long we can push them for. We just have to take the Brazilian capital, which isn't too far away. Yeah, it's it's 3 states. Okay, that actually is kind of far away. And we can't push them that far. All right, let's stay on the defensive and see what happens. There is a good chance Peru breaks away from us. You know, if I just give it to them, we're actually going to have peace. Yeah, screw it. War. What is it good for? We have a truce with Peru. We have a truce with Brazil. We can just take over Bolivia and Chile now, which are worth way more. What's the economy of Peru? It's 1.1 million. Well, these two countries are worth way more. And Brazil won't be getting in the way of our conquest. I do need to make sure the British like me, because they're a little hostile right now. Alright, the British are not likely to join them. I don't know why Brazil is able to participate in this war. They have a truce with us. Am I going to do a series on Juan Perón? Not likely. I want to wait for Brazil to get knocked out of consideration. Oh, whoops, I waited too long. Okay, I got to go back a month, and then I got to add my war goals. And then hopefully Brazil does not intervene. Oh, you know what? What we learned from the last war is that even if Brazil intervenes, they're not strong enough to stop us. Also, Bismarck, thank you so much for the well wishes. They are much appreciated. Gonna wait until a moment before it finishes. Now let's go with return state. That's everything I can annex, right? That's Santiago. I don't know why it keeps taking me to the Navy each time I try leaving, but that is fine. And yeah, that is the full annexation of their country, and Brazil is not intervening against us, which is perfection. Alright, cool. This conquest will be real quick. Save scum, bottoms up. Listen, I do not think it's save scumming in Victoria 3, which is an unbelievably broken game. It's not save scumming, it's the save standard. You literally can't do anything else. So look at our economy. It's going up even, our economy, excuse me, our population. It's growing up even faster. Our economy is not looking so hot, but that is a problem for later. Whoa, what's going on here? France is going to make a protectorate over Ecuador? France, what are you doing? Look at that. Look at how huge Argentina is. So I think if we just take one more province, we're able to form La Plata. Actually, we didn't need Chile at all. What we need is to finish colonizing these states. Yeah, we just got colonized down here. And we're already colonizing it, right? No, we're not done. All right, we got to keep colonizing. Anyway, come on, Bolivia, you're next. And I should go with May Protectorate. I'm gonna try to wait for most of the countries to leave. Oh, France sided against us? France, why do you even care? This is South America. Oh, I have too much notoriety. Okay. That was really dumb. Always remember to be positive, Ezekiel. Oh, Person of Earth, I totally missed your post, but thank you so much for saying so. That's really nice. Glad you were able to hop on. So yeah, we actually have to chill out with the conquest for a little while because the whole world's getting a little pissed at us. I see we inherited all of the Chilean construction sectors. Also, they had a big university. It's funny, last time I played, there was also a big university in Chile. Okay, it's not big, but they do have it. So there's a bunch of really high population states we just took over. We need to integrate them, or else we don't collect the tax revenue. Oh, also, establish colonies we have to do. Siam wants independence? No can do. Sorry, buddy. Why do they have 66 battalions? Who's backing them? No one. They're just big. Okay, that's fine, Siam. You can shoot your shot, buddy. I'm just gonna take all your money. Help me get out of debt, you know? This poor army's been going to South Asia and back over and over again. Ooh, I do want to make sure my army is defending, though. They're quite a bit smaller than the Siamese right now. Okay, there they go. Now they can attack. Chile is such a weird country. Why does a small, thin mountain chain span half a continent while in the most mountainous area of said continent? It's a bit like Croatia, you know? It's just shaped that way. All right, Siam, I think it's time for you to cough up the money. This is not dignified. Okay, so Argentina actually has some really, really good companies. I just need to qualify for them. I don't think it's these. Honestly, this one would not be bad for us, even though it boosts the landowners. This one, I think this is the really good Argentine one. What do we need? We need to have Buenos Aires needs a level 5 food industry, and any state needs level 5 livestock ranches. All right, we can build those, I think. I don't know if we'll build them now, but we will build them. Let's see what the status of livestock ranches is. So that'll get us past level 5 here, and also let's do a level 5 food industry in Argentine proper. Alright, I know we are spending money like a leaky bucket, but I think that's just because the war in Siam is about to end. And also, the AI is being really silly, fighting on the wrong front. There it goes. How's playing as a South American country going? Pretty all right. I'm certainly not the best Victoria 3 player, but I can put up a respectable performance, I'd say. Oh, those interest rates really hurt, though. When we finish integrating these two states, I think our tax revenue is going to look so much better. Also, I think banning slavery is looking increasingly popular for us. We can also take another crack at landed voting. Okay, slavery banned or wealth voting. Wealth voting is the more likely by far. We can also lower taxes a bit to legitimize the government. The Romanians are coming into Argentina. Welcome, new Argentinians. An anti-Qing society? You know what? Why not? If Argentine peasants are angry at China, they can be angry at China. Actually, it looks like the Qing are being kind of aggressive. Are they doing good domestically? You know, I don't think traditionalism is what they start with. I think that might actually be an upgrade off their previous system. Also, looks like this new government we put together actually is not so popular. But we might be able to pass wealth voting with the conservative government. I think when we get pharmaceuticals, we can upgrade. No, I think it's quinine we're going to need for more colonial affairs. That is fine. We might be able to pass public school soon. Okay, we got a good roll on wealth voting. That's very good. Oh, wait, we failed. Oh my god, I forgot. We promised to give the armed forces something. Okay, they're probably pissed. You know what? It's a -19 timed modifier. That's not horrific. Oh, Sergeant 485, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, when these states get incorporated, I think a lot of our economic problems get solved. Although I think going for pharmaceuticals might have been a mistake. I think there's much better technologies we could have gone for. Central banking will actually help us a lot. We'll take that next. Now the Vietnamese want independence. That is not happening, but I'm glad you're trying, because I can ask you for outrageous amounts of cash. Funnily enough, the East India Company will join if I give them a piece of Vietnam. Which I'm not doing, but it is something I can do, and that's funny. You hope my day is full of tomboy baddies? Me too. I mean, there's only like an hour left in the day, but me too. Yeah, man, we didn't even need to send our army. The Siamese would have just won the war for us. That's fine. Tons of cash is inbound. I like how our entire economy has been reduced to looting our own subjects for cash. Looks like the Austrians have gone to war with the Ottomans. Over what, though? They want Tripolitania, Kosovo, and... Oh, they're fighting for border gore. That's not good. Also, I think Austria is a republic. Yeah, I think the radicals won the revolution of 1848. They did. Europe is really on fire. This is nasty. I think the Prussians are going to end up doing quite well. Yeah, our economy's been a bit of a rough spot, I think. Okay, the armed forces are already kind of pissed at us. I see no reason not to piss them off a little more. We cannot afford to spend any more money. No, Vietnam, I'm not white piecing with you because I really need the cash. Like, it's bad. Looks like the Japanese got Sakhalin, though. That's interesting. You want us to embargo China? Sure, why not? All right, and our budget is balanced once again. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm not so offended by Austria and Libya. I'm very offended by the borders they're trying to make in the Balkans. Those are pretty nasty. Well, so we finished this war just in time because the natives are doing their own little revolt. Man, those natives did a little too well in their revolt because the army was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, mutual funds are a little ahead of us, but there might be some other things we can get that are useful. I'll be honest, I think what really messed us up for this campaign has got to be interest rates. That's just been eating into the government budget this whole time in outrageous ways. What we could probably do is shrink the size of the military. We can sell the Navy for scrap. Yeah, cutting down the army helped a lot there. Cool. That is a tragedy that we don't get wealth voting. Well, can we abolish slavery at least? Not with this government. Can we get a more liberal government? All right, let's see if we can raise taxes and improve the economy at least. We might have gotten out of our funk. Let's look around the country and see what buildings are most profitable. Textile mills are doing quite well in the country, it looks like. Who's my favorite Roman emperor? I like the Republic a lot better, so I'm going to give a sort of roundabout answer and say the dictator, not emperor, Lucius Cornelius Sulla. Fun name and really great story behind him. Oh, the Persians are looking pretty good, except for the fact that the Russians are pushing him pretty hard. Yeah, the Persians are trying really hard to save the Caucasian republics. I don't think it's going to work for them. And the Ottomans... Oh, God, the Austrians won their war, and look at what they did. That is nasty. Why would they do that? This is the most cursed Europe imaginable. I bet that... I bet the situation in Europe might partly be hurting us over in the New World. Because, like, if their economies are doing better, we might have a little bit better trade here. I don't know. Maybe it's cope. We're also importing a lot of coal. Why can't I build coal in places like Juju? Is it... Was there never coal in these places? Am I losing my mind? Could have sworn there were coal in all those places. We could actually build them in the colonies without too much issue. There's no penalties to building in them. Let's do it. Oh, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. That is very kind of you. And now we're digging our way out of debt. Okay, I think we're back in the game now. Luckily, I think meat is pretty cheap in the Argentine market. So we definitely don't have a truce with Brazil anymore. They're allied with the Netherlands and have a peace treaty with the Swedish. Okay, that's good, because usually when I play this game in South America, usually for some reason, like, Germany creates an alliance with Brazil, and they never let you touch them. So if they're allied with the Netherlands and these other countries, we might be able to bully the Brazilians a bit. No, the North German Federation really likes Brazil. I don't know why. Maybe the British will be our friend. Oh no, they really don't like that. Oh, Sleepy, thank you for the birthday wishes. That's very kind. Should you get Victoria 2 or 3? I would suggest Victoria 3 unless the war system bothers you. If you find the war system bothersome, you should get Victoria 2. Also, fair warning, if you're going to get Victoria 3, you really should get the major DLCs with it. Without the DLCs, it is a much poorer game. Oh, we can actually get public health insurance. I don't know if we can afford it. I don't know if it's in the budget, but we can get it. Although, frankly, as a New World country, you don't really need it. God, getting rid of slavery would be so good for us. Oh, HA's Productions, thank you again. Super glad you were able to join the stream. Alright, looks like the armed forces are chilling out for that merciless betrayal I gave them. Slight mistake on my part. And the economy is growing again. Look at that. Beautiful. We still import so much coal, though. We haven't built those coal mines yet, but man, that sucks. Let's build those coal mines before the textile mills, I think. Oh, we don't have enough battalions for the military excursion. Alright, we'll build up the army in a bit. Ooh, the Liberals might actually win this election. Come on, please give me a liberal government, please. Okay, I can have a liberal government. It just won't be very legitimate. But they can pass wealth voting, so let's go for it. And we're going to cut taxes to do it. We actually don't have to cut them that much, though. We can actually keep them quite high. All right, if we build this coal mine here, how well does it do? So coal is expensive in our market, and the tools that they need to produce the coal are not. And it hires just fine. All right, cool, cool, cool. But I can't give it a better production method. Why? I think it's because it's not in... Is Napoleon III in the Epstein file? Nah, he doesn't strike me as the type. He could get his own women. He didn't need a pimp. Okay, so building the coal mine in a foreign country was not the best idea. But we have coal, and that is what matters. It's because the coal mines aren't owned by me. Why are they not owned by me? America, why would I just give you investment rights? The AI is very silly sometimes. Sometimes they just come to you and say, I want that. And it's like, why would I give it to you? And they're like, because I want it. Very silly of them. Yes, our economy is growing. Let's go. Oh, me K2G. You're welcome. I'm really glad you got some use out of that. I think that with all like the ideology explanation videos, we did a really good job just neutrally explaining what this ideology is and how it thinks and why someone might become it. All from a variety of perspectives. God, why do they keep trying to extort me for independence? You're not getting your independence. Just give up. Just acknowledge it. It's more dignified. Oh, whoops. Gotta go back a bit. Forgot to add the intended war goal, which is them to give us tons of money for no reason. Forced treaty article, money transfer. Lots of money, please and thank you. You know, Vietnam, if your God wanted you to be independent, maybe you wouldn't be failing all these rebellions. Very undignified, Vietnam. Very undignified. And now you are helping us balance our budget. Isn't there a, there should be another company for Argentina that does beef. Yeah, here it is. Oh, I think the issue is the livestock ranches are in an unincorporated state. No, this state's incorporated. Why? Oh, Uruguay is not in La Plata. That's why. No, yes it is. Unless I'm losing my mind. Okay, this map is really unclear. I think it's actually considered part of Brazil. Okay, that is really obnoxious. Guess we're gonna have to build these somewhere else. Please tell me there is another livestock ranch in the region that we can just upgrade. The closest one is in Buenos Aires. Okay, I think I'm doing it somewhere else then. We also need to start considering more coal mines, because we're still importing a ton of that stuff. Although the textile mills are probably more profitable, no? We got really profitable ones overseas, look at that. But it's our own people we want to be employing. Yeah, there's no coal in useful states. I could have sworn this one had coal, the state I can't pronounce. Uruguay's not in La Plata. Brazilian propaganda. Argentines weep. Yeah, that's how it feels sometimes. Oh, dedicate police force. Yes, please. I wanted that for a while. Our population's growing like crazy, though. Look at that. Okay, if I go after Bolivia... Oh, wait, I could just straight up annex all of Bolivia? For 28 infamy? Our country's just gonna let me do that? The game might just let me annex this country. Okay. Cool, I should do some prep work for that. And also, look at our economy grow. We're gonna be bigger than Mexico soon. And they have like twice our population. Ooh, it looks like the Qing are having some problems. And the Egyptians got involved for some reason. And Liberia doing quite well in a war, it looks like. Are the Americans and the British at war? Over Piedmont. Actually, no, I don't follow. What is this war about? Well, France is having a problem. Yeah, I think the Germans are going to be the top beneficiaries here. Although, man, like, all the European economies, except for the British, are really messed up. I think it's because Spain and France and Austria are all so reactionary. And Austria is in another war with the British over Croatia. Would I consider doing a video on Rhodesia? I've wanted to do it for a while. I think it might just be a bit too recent for this channel. I'd love... If Rhodesia comes up, it might be in a broader Cold War video with a particular focus on, like, the destruction of the French and British empires. I could definitely see me doing that. That's in my wheelhouse. Mutual funds are still so ahead of time. Okay, let's see if we can get a... Let's see if that path gets us anywhere useful. There's Bosniaks in Argentina. I'm sorry, Bosniaks. I think you might just have to suffer some discrimination. There are not very many of you. And now that we have wealth voting, let's move on to dedicated police as per the intelligentsia's request. I think we'll be able to get it with a more conservative government. We'll see what the next elections bring. We also need more government administrations. I think it is time. Yeah, I think it's time to begin preparing for big institutional increases. So health system is not as important to a colonial country like Argentina because you just have immigrants to boost your population. But education is very important because you want your people to read. Now it's Siam trying to break free. You know, every time they try to fight a war against me, I just end up getting more money. So I consider this a very elaborate form of taxation. It's Argentine state policy to provoke rebellions in its overseas protectorates so it can take money from them as reparations. I also see we have convoy problems. Yes, the port you want to build convoys. Oh, I didn't know the port gives you infrastructure. Okay, cool. I'm going to build a whole bunch in Buenos Aires then. Also, I see we're exporting lots of groceries to the British. The British like our food. I think we might have to call up conscripts for this army. Yeah, I'm not going to call up all of them, though. Yeah, I know, it's getting late. I gotta go to bed, too. Here, we'll finish up this war and maybe finish up passing this law. That's how Victoria 3 always goes. I was like, oh, I'll just do 1 or 2 more things, and then more things happen. You don't want to log off. It has that real one more game quality, I guess. What cause does he fight for? He's part of the liberal movement? Yes, I want the liberal movement to have a boost. Ooh, we might be overspending a bit. Very silly overseas colonies, I must say. Rebelling just helped fund our industrialization. But you know what? They can do what they want. They have free will. And our budget is balanced once again. It looks like luxury clothes might be a good market for us. What happens if we do that? There's certainly a lot of expensive goods on our market, but none of them are actually a problem, I think. Yeah, there's a very good chance this stalls out. I don't think we're passing it. Oh, you do not want to use okay, for a colonial country like this, nitroglycerin is actually fine because you can just replace the lost people, but I don't know. I don't like using the mean production methods. It just doesn't feel right. I think I'm too nice. My workers are taking advantage of me. Alright, well, if we can't pass that, can we at least abolish slavery? There's a good amount of support in the country for that. It's just that this government doesn't want to do it. And I can't seem to get the liberals in charge. Whoa, what just happened? The legacy of our nation's independence from Spain has spurred the beginning of a developed national identity. Conflicts have begun... Oh, is this the nationalism event? Why, though? I mean, I will take the extra loyalists. Oh, so we got to be able to take that company now, right? Here it is, finally. And since we have interventionist, we can actually give it really good monopoly rights. Oh, not much. You like the latest video? So nice of you to say. We worked very hard on that one. You'll probably notice the 4-week delay it might have had. Oh, let's see if we can get like a school system going. We can get public health insurance. That one's usually hard to pass. You know, usually the religious will support public health insurance. It looks like the Spanish are trying to reconquer Peru. I'm not really in a position to stop them, though. Ah, the Mexican-American War is happening. And it looks like the AI remembered to include all of the states. Sometimes they'll, like, miss Arizona or something. Okay, I want to try annexing Bolivia. That would be really funny if we get away with that. It looks like the Brazilians are not going to interfere. Yeah, are we just going to get a free Bolivia? If so, that's sick. This commander, however, cannot command that many troops. You know, aside from being an opium addict, this guy's pretty good. Welcome to the army. Yeah, I think we're just going to straight up take Bolivia for free. That's awesome. It's a shame the rest of South America is being taken over by random European powers, though. Yeah, our food industries are doing really well, actually. What would happen if I give them pot stills? No, because the cur is basically worthless. Okay, back to back to groceries. Those actually make money. All right, Bolivia, just surrender. This is not dignified. You know, I bet I can take on the Spanish army. If we, like, really built up to it, we could easily beat them up. Look at that. Look at how thick Argentina is. That's awesome. Apparently, the Bolivians have built railways. All right, we're not going to be able to get public education, so let's go for public health care. And maybe after the next election, we will be able to pass something better. Wealth voting's definitely helping out our Liberal Party. That's good. All right, and now what can we build to improve our economy further? I think additional beefs might be good. Oh, well, we should not be building those Buenos Aires there, though it does not have the infrastructure to support it. We want to make sure we're building in the Pampas, which is the sort of general east. All right, any of these states is fine then. Let's build some more food industries. I'm okay building those there. All right, and that's about 3 years of construction. Let's let our economy process this. Did the Peruvians repel the Spanish? I think they did. Which leaves them free for us to annex. Okay, I think we're going to end this stream by annexing Peru. Because then we will have a nice big Argentina. Oh my god, look at our GDP go. I also gotta check the construction methods, because I imagine the Bolivians did not have very good technology. They had some universities, though, which we didn't, so... credit where it's due. Oh, actually, we do not want these. Oh, I guess we do. It makes sugar. Oh, what's our legitimacy? God, that is not a comfortable sound effect at all. Also, I think the Liberals make for a slightly easier to work with government, I think. I think we have to negotiate with the rural folk to get this passed. Oh yeah, I can do right of assembly. I forgot to pass it last time. Oh, there's a civil war going on in Brazil. I would like very much to interfere with that. To cause as many problems as possible, because the Brazilians are annoying and I do not like them. How are we doing on the way to mutual funds? It's going to be a really good technology to get our hands on. Still a while away, it looks like. Oh, human rights is also a good technology to get your hands on. Oh, Hawaii Ball, thank you so much for saying. That's really kind of you. I really got to watch our spending. That interest is not going to be good for us. So Sweden is likely to back Brazil, and so is Peru, but not the North German Federation anymore. So I might want to go to war with them. Let's start building up our army. We're going to war with someone, that's for sure. And all this military building is going to be top priority. Except for those 1 or 2 buildings that we already made some progress on, because we might as well finish them. And you know what? I'm going to build up our fleet as well, just a little bit. I don't think Brazil actually has a navy, does it? Yeah, they have 5 ships. I'm not worried about that. I just want to build a fleet big enough to land armies with, so we can go right into their capital and do stuff. Okay, perfect. And Pokey Castle, thank you so much for saying. That's very kind of you. I see. I can actually declare war on Spain to transfer the suzerainty of Peru. That actually might be worth it. It's 14 infamy. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Oh, actually, we can pass public schools really easily, it looks like. I need to give the rural folk their right of assembly first, though, or else they're going to be very mad, and rightly so. Alright, the Argentine army is looking very good now. We'll be ready to go to war with Brazil quite soon. Spain and France seem to have gotten themselves in a little slap fight. Ah, the German unification war is happening, and France is not doing so hot. I hope one of the war terms is to transfer... No, it is not. Okay, if it was to transfer Ecuador to Spain or something, that would have been really good, because then we could have gotten Ecuador. The Russians are part of the war against France. Man, Europe is so messed up. What's the German economy looking like? The German economy is nothing. It's only twice our size. That's awful. Looks like the British are doing the best, and the Russians are not doing terribly either. Spain's doing surprisingly well. Good for them. Ooh, Germany's willing to guarantee our independence. Will they do a defensive pact? I don't want to give you the investing rights, but I might. Honestly, this deal's way better. Ooh, that's really good. And you know what? While the Americans are distracted, I think it's time to bully Brazil. Sweden will join Brazil, but that's perfectly fine by me. Yoshi, welcome to the stream, and thank you so much for saying so. That's very kind. All right, how many maneuvers do we have? We have 80. There's 3 states I want to take for pretty borders. I want to take Santa Catarina, and I also want to take Parana. That way we have a nice smooth border with the Brazilians. And then I want to take a lot of money, and I want to liberate a whole bunch of subjects from them. That's 1, and then I want 1 more. There we go. That should give us a pretty border. And we have 58 maneuvers left. I want to steal your entire national budget. Actually, you know what? Stealing their budget's going to be too much infamy, but I will take trade concessions. Alright, sick. And now let's build up an absolutely massive army capable of taking all this territory. 50 infantries. Gonna go for 40 artillery, sorry. And a little bit of cav. I'm going to keep this army defensive on the border. Not much. Thank you so much for saying so. Which DLCs for Victoria 3 do I have? I have every single one of them. Okay, so the Swedes and the Norwegians joined the war. I don't think they have very strong armies, though. What we can do is we can sit defensively along the border and let them attack us, and eventually they'll get bored of the conflict and leave. But I don't even think we need to do that. I think we just go right in for the kill. Alright, our army's just sitting pretty, mobilizing if they want to attack us, which looks like they're doing on all sides. It's fine if they win some of the battles. I think we're going to win them pretty quickly. Yeah, they started with a slight advantage and the game realized, oh yeah, we outnumber them like 2-1, so... Oh, the Brazilians are actually pushing. Bonapartism is back. Infantry, cavalry, artillery. Exactly. Yeah, and now our huge numbers of conscripts are really starting to tell. If we get slightly more cotton plantations... The thing is that we already have that prestige good. You know, the generic tooling company might honestly be our best option here. Actually, this one... Oh, that's actually really bad rural folk pop attraction. Okay, that's a horrible company. Why would you ever take that? I think I might just go for the tooling. I just need to have a level 5 tooling workshop or higher. Alright, it looks like they stopped attacking us. Let's advance and see what happens. Do I think the sun setting on liberal norms, modern borders will begin to be redrawn? I feel like there's a little too much hype for, like, classic 18th, 19th century politics. I think the world will change considerably in the coming years, but not quite in the big bombastic ways people expect. I think we're entering a much more openly bombastic age of politics, but one where the politics themselves are done a lot more subtly. I suggest studying a lot of court politics, honestly, to understand where the world's probably going. Sorts of things the Chinese or Japanese get into in their internal politics. Yeah, it looks like we're not strong enough for a push, so we're just going to wait for the Swedes to get bored and leave the war. Because we're losing all these offensives. Also, as soon as the Swedes leave, we'll have naval superiority. Who got shot? The reformist head of the Catholic Church. Okay, it would be better if he did not die because he makes the Catholic Church a little tolerable to work with. The Brazilians are actually pushing me really hard. We are a good ways behind on military tech now that I think about it. Yeah, it's 1875. I don't even have breech-loading artillery. Do the Brazilians have that? If they do, we might have a problem. No, they don't. It's probably the Swedes then doing all the heavy firepower. No, they don't either. Interesting. Are we not properly supporting the army? I can give them these. I don't know how much it helps. Oh, there we go. Okay, the Swedes got bored and left. Now we should be able to counterattack the Brazilians. This is every war in South America, by the way. Some ally joins the Brazilians. They're stronger than you. The ally gets bored and leaves. And then you can just win. Oh man, we are losing a ton of soldiers from the fighting. This is actually really bad. They might overrun us. Although they're going to end up losing a ton of troops too, so we'll see what happens. They might be willing to wipe peace. We'll see. Yeah, I think we might have lost this. I just very stupidly didn't prepare for a war, and Alright, well, we did get a climactic battle, just not quite the one we expected. Alright guys, thank you so much for showing up for my birthday. I had a great time with my family, some friends, and decided to close it by streaming with you guys. It's 11:30, I'm heading off to bed. Thank you guys so much for joining, especially so much for the well-wishers. That was really, really nice of you guys. Had a good time playing Victoria 3 with y'all. I'll be heading out. Thank you guys. Hopefully I'll see you next time.